Merry meet everyone, and welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am your Wednesday host, Houston, and this week on Witches of the Moon Week 2, we are talking about our encounters with the spirit world. I actually have a lot of different stories they'll go through. I have some on my personal channel, but to kick things off, I have I want to explain to you guys my history a little bit. I have witnessed activity from the spirit world, from spirits, um, positive and negative. I wouldn't really say good or bad because they both have a place in the world, at least energy wise. Since I was very young, I guess you could say I grew up on land that my great grandparents owned at the time, and it was on my mother's side, and I always, had the old house, and I always when falling asleep, and that's usually the time that I see them. At least when I was a kid, so this time I would see something moving in the hallway. We'd have um, nightlight in the hallway, so if me and my little brother had to go to the bathroom, we wouldn't fall over anything walking out of our room into the hallway. And you would see shadows walk by the nightlight. Usually they would stop at the edge of my door, like you can see them, and it's like the lights behind them, so like here's the door frame, and their shadow would be a little bit extended past it, like they're looking in, almost. I was never afraid of them, of at least that one. I was never afraid of that one, that spirit. Excuse me. I'm doing this Tuesday night, so sorry, but my next spiritual encounter, I guess you could say, was when I was in my teens. I just started studying Wicca and paganism, and opening up my psychic abilities and my gifts, and working with energy and things along those lines. And all I can remember was I actually told this to a friend the other day on the phone. But all I can remember was getting back from my sister's place. We just had a ritual. I don't know if it was a Sabbat or an Esbit. I know it was some ritual because we were outside in her space. And it was late at night, so I think I got home around maybe midnight, maybe 1 o'clock. Um, it was summertime, that's all I remember. Um, but I got back, I um, crept into the house because everyone was asleep, of course. Um, I got ready for bed as usual, and when I was coming out, heading to my bedroom from the bathroom after taking a shower, um, suddenly, out of nowhere, I involuntarily froze, um, and my heart started beating really quickly, and so if and when uh, I looked up in the hallway. So there's the bathroom on this side, my bedroom's on the other side. If you go straight down the hallway, there's the living room. I looked up, and in my mind's eye, I saw what looked like to be like the worst, like, image of what you think a really, like, a werewolf would be. But it was almost, I don't know, it had this elongated snout with all these sharp teeth, and it was dripping saliva, I guess you could say. Its eyes were crazed. Um, I didn't scream. I didn't scream. It scared the shit out of me. And like I said, I didn't scream. I tried to keep as quiet as possible. Um, and I just walked. I saw it at the end of the hallway, and it was looking at me. And I walked to my bedroom. Went in my bedroom and sat on my bed for a second just to calm down, um, and just to collect my thoughts. Um, I don't ever think I've been that scared before. Um, before that, and I went back out in the hallway, and the feeling was gone. Um, the spirit was gone. Um, so yeah, there was that one. Um, I've encountered what you say shadow people, moving shadows out of like the corner of your eye, and sometimes actually see the shadow, person um, in form in front of you. One time, still back when I was in high school, I was staying over at my sister's place. And when I say sister, she's my pagan sister. She's not really blood related, but we're closer than friends. Um, we're a family. I was staying over at her place one night. It was during a weekend or over the summer or something like that. And we were staying up late. We were chit chatting, and we were about ready to go to bed. And I think she may have already have passed out at the time, and I was going to sleep. She had this pillow, huge pillow, that was almost as big as my bed, my full size bed, and I slept on that. Um, and all of a sudden, I noticed I felt pressure, something jump up on me, and so I woke up and it was one of her cats. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I dozed back over, but the cat was standing on like I was laying on my side, so the cat was standing on my shoulder area, my arm, and it was like I felt its claws tense up. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I slowly rolled over, and it moved over to my chest and down to my legs, and it had its tail up like it was mad. I was like, what the fuck? And I sat up, and when I sat up, I was facing her entranceway to her room, and in the entranceway, you could see like outside, but everything there was a shadow of a man in the doorway, and you could see around it, but everything that was within this man was black. And so around it, you could see like the light from the room, and it almost cast a shadow, but you couldn't see. I couldn't see any features. I just saw the outline or silhouette of a man. Um, and just by the way he was standing, and huge shoulder, bigger, broader shoulders, and I don't know. I just knew it was a man. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my sister jumps up out of a dead sleep and screams "No!" and points at this thing, and it disappears. Um, and so that was kind of weird, but that wasn't that scary. It was almost awe-inspiring. Um, her house has always been big for the paranormal. Um, so there are those. I'm going to continue. Share as much of my spirit stories as I can. Let's see. There's actually been since I moved down to Charleston. Um, sorry, sitting on my bed has me really stiff, backwise. Um, but when I moved down here, I was in student housing for a while, for about a year, and then me and a friend. Um, then I call a friend. She's not a friend anymore, because of how she acted towards the end of our friendship. But we both practice paganism and Wicca, and avid magical practitioners. And we moved into a place, and we cleansed and protected ourselves and all that jazz. Um, but I think one of the biggest, scariest things, I say scary, spooky, spiritual side, um, was we were watching Netflix. It was late at night one night. We were just finished our college artwork, finished editing our photos or something. I know we just finished homework or something, and so we decided to watch Netflix on TV, or on the TV we had hooked up, and we were watching, and all of a sudden, sitting on the couch, we looked over and we could see into her bedroom, and on the poster you can make out the light reflection, like from our front room to her bedroom. You can make out a face. Very creepy. And it was almost inhuman face. Um, it didn't move. It just looked. It had huge, huge eyes and a huge, like, almost like O mouth. And you couldn't really tell details for the nose. And it was just this weird, almost. It was really weird. Um, and we were kind of in shock for a moment because, I mean, we practiced, but I mean, at the time, I wasn't, and we weren't well versed in spirit stuff, so um, we did our normal protection. We, I guess, what I remember, we did a combination of sage and dragon's blood throughout the whole apartment, and asked whatever it was to leave in peace. We didn't mean it no harm. Hopefully, it didn't mean it caused any harm to us. And after we did that, we turned the lights off and got back in the right lighting position. Um, you know, she didn't have her windows open in her bedroom or the blinds or anything, and we got the lights back on, and the face was gone. Um, it vanished. So that was kind of weird. Or I'd say I keep saying weird, but I mean it wasn't. I guess say spooky, but I mean at the time it was frightening a little bit. It was unsettling, but these are just my encounters with the spiritual world. Some of the things also is when I moved in with my partner. The beginning of our relationship wasn't the best on both of our terms. Um, we argued a lot, um, butted heads mostly. Um, but I remember the last apartment we moved into, which was in Goose Creek. It was called Branchwood Apartments. We had a 2-bedroom apartment, two bed, two bath. Um, he had his own room, I had mine, and I had my altar set up to where as soon as you walk in, it's right there on the right, and then I had the bed. And I think one night or something we got into a really heated argument. Um, or it was over the day, course of the day or something. It was a really heated argument. I knew it was about the same time he got hurt. For those who don't know, my partner he herniated 2 discs on the job, and now is in pain a lot. He has a degenerative disc disease, so he is in constant pain. Um, but he's manageable. It's not unmanageable. But then that's when he first got hurt, so he was in pain a lot. And when he lashed out, um, I didn't really take it too kindly. I lashed back, and it was after one of those It was after one of those arguments or something of the sort that I woke up one morning and there was. And at that time, I was a light sleeper. I'm not anymore because I take medication to help me sleep. At the time, I was a light sleeper, so anything um, would wake me up. Um, but I woke up the next morning, it was the night after, and there was a cut in the wallpaper outside my door from like a centimeter to an inch outside the door frame, and a low curve. So a low curve. And it stopped. Um, there has been, don't know how that happened. There was also instances where he would be at work sometimes, and in the apartment, and the shit. I can't remember that story, so I'm not going to tell it because I don't want to be inaccurate about it. Okay. When we moved to the trailer that we live in, the house that we live in now, um, we both still have separate bedrooms, just because, well, we need our own space. It's nothing that we're not intimate or anything like that. We just need our own space. But that's beside the point. Um, we've noticed that we both have, on several occasions, that we have a walker. And what I mean by that is in late at night, either if I'm still awake or if we're going to sleep and it's close to midnight, close to 10:30, between 10:30 and 1:30, if we're both asleep or one of us is up and in the bedrooms. It never happens when one of us is in the living room. Excuse me. there will hear footsteps walk from my bathroom in the hallway through the living room, through the kitchen, and into the area where the master bedroom is, where Nate's, my partner, stays, into where the washer and dryer are, the back door. And they'll walk from the bathroom all the way through the living room and through the kitchen to the back door, and it'll stop. Um, we don't hear it walk back. We just hear it walk one way and stop. We've also had times where my partner has witnessed a spirit walk from the kitchen, or walk around the walk in the kitchen, like walk around. Um, Not really slamming cabinets or anything like that. Um, and then walk to the entrance of his bedroom, and stand there for a little while. And then he's also had some come walk through his bedroom door and into his bathroom and look like they were grabbing something and walk right back out again. Um, I have had those are his accounts of spirit activity when we're here. We haven't felt that they were negative in any way, shape, or form. We have done a lot of different. We have done cleansings on the house, and they've calmed down a lot, but we didn't want them to leave per se if they weren't negative. When we did the cleansing, we basically stated that all negative entities or energies be gone. You're not welcome here. The same thing. Um, the Not the same thing. I lost track of what I was saying. Sorry. Um, I have one that's been recent after I did this last cleansing. It's happened to me 2 nights in a row now, and it's a little creepy, just a little bit. I'll be going to bed, laying down on my bed, and getting ready to go to sleep. And for me, it's hard for me to go to sleep, so I do take valerian root to help me sleep. So I do have medication that helps me stay asleep. And when I'm falling asleep is when my psychic abilities are open a lot. So I'll get a lot of flashes of things. And for the past 2 nights, recently, I have seen in my mind's eye every time I look at the doorway. I don't see it, but in my mind's eye at the doorway is like I've never saw the movie. I think The Ring. I don't watch horror movies like that, but it's the one with the girl with the hair over her face and the white shirt or dress or whatever, and the really pale skin. I think that's The Ring. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I've seen like the image of the spirit, I guess you could say, around. I don't know, but in my mind's eye, it's standing in my doorway. It's really creepy. Um, and actually is giving me the creeps at the moment, but um, it doesn't come in my bedroom. And when the point in time that it does come in my bedroom, I feel that I need to take action. But at the moment, it's just outside of my threshold of the bedroom. It doesn't move. It doesn't look at me. It's just in the doorway, like it's just frozen in the doorway. Um, and it's not like I physically see this. I just see it in my mind's eye. Like I'll be laying there, my mind will go blank, and I'll get the sensation that something's here. Like you'll feel, and I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. It's what happens when I get tired. I get really fidgety. I apologize. Um, when I'll get a sense that something's here with me. Um, Kind of like I do with my spirit friends, my spirit family, or deity, or when spirit wants their presence to be known. People who work with psychic development energy work, they know. Um, so I get that sense that hey, something's here, um, and I'll mentally scan, or mentally I'll close my eyes and see that it or she is standing in the doorway. I haven't probed it for questions, I guess you could say, or I haven't asked it any questions. I haven't actually acknowledged it. Well, I just acknowledged its presence by talking about it. But when at night, I haven't opened a conversation with her. So if I do, I will post a link and I'll do a video on it on my personal channel. So I think that is it for tonight with my encounters with the spirit world. They're not all scary. I mean, spirits aren't all scary. A lot of them are just unknown because we can't physically see them, or some of us don't have the ability to physically see them. Some of us do. Um, Sometimes they're scary, but a lot of times they're not. Um, it's just follow your instincts, I guess you could say. I know this video has been kind of here, there, and everywhere. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next week, many blessings.